Welcome to all of you. I always say that, and I mean it absolutely 100%, that I'm always delighted when people decide to join us. And these Tuesday talks are a wonderful opportunity for us to meet an interesting, usually older woman, although we have had a couple of men on these sessions, but usually we invite women to come along, and I like them when they are about stories of new directions, changes, transformations, things like that, especially when that's happened a bit later in life rather than earlier. And the story today, which we're going to hear from Nikki, is it's an amazing story, really, because it was just total serendipity. It wasn't planned. It wasn't what she set out to do at all. And but it happened anyway. And I think I always think that's a really nice aspect of a story, when something happens that you're absolutely not expecting to happen. So Nikki, I'm going to say welcome to you, and it's really lovely to see you. And obviously we know already, because that's been advertised, that you are now a model, but you weren't always a model. And I want you to perhaps begin by just telling us what you were doing when you were spotted in a bank queue. So what was your life before you became a model?
I ran a business where I would bring French students over from Paris for English lessons and school trips. And I did that 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And it was very stressful. And my children, my twin daughters, would help me in the business. So the three of us, I would go collect the students. I would host like 4 or 5 or 6 of them. My children would cook their meal, change the beds. I would go and sort out a coach that was just coming in for a school trip. So it was completely teenagers, young children. It was completely responsible. Every problem that happened, I was the one who had to solve it. So it was very stressful. And so to go along from the age, their children were 10 when we started the business. And then when the children were 18, they left to go to university. And I was doing my banking, which I did because I had a lot of people on the payroll. So I was doing my banking, and a lady in the bank said to me, would you take this phone number and ring us about being a model for our hair company, White Hot Hair? So I said, well, I don't know. Anyway, I just took the number. And when the children were going to university on the same weekend, leaving me with no one in the house except the dog, they said, why don't you ring it? And I thought, anyway, when I rang, they said, come and you can have a free lunch. And the only reason I went was I picked my girlfriend up and we drove out to the countryside to have this champagne lunch. I didn't even know why we were doing it, but it was a day off, it was a day out. And then White Hot Hair asked me to be their poster girl, and that's how it started. Just on this off chance, that's how it all began. Which is bizarre.
It's just such a fabulous story that there you were, leading your life quite happily with what was effectively a demanding but very successful business. And then you had, I think your twin girls going off to university was quite a moment for you, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was the empty nest syndrome, which I felt terribly. And plus, because they worked for me, they did the cleaning, they did the cooking. How was I going to do this business without these two? So I thought, I don't want to do, and the reason for doing it is so I could do the school run, I could help with the homework, and I could run the business. So it was all at home. So what was the point in my life without them? There was no point. And then when I made that phone call, a whole new life opened up for me, where I actually could put makeup on. I'd never had any makeup. I never had my hair cut. I didn't have any clothes. This whole new life opened up for me, and I grabbed it. That's what
I love about it, the fact that you were so open to doing it. So I met you, and I'm a very small part of your story, but what happened with me and White Hot Hair was I was in contact with Jane Maylard, who runs White Hot Hair. We've had her on this Tuesday talk, actually. She's a wonderful woman. And the very first photo shoot that she did for her company, you were the main model on that because of your fantastic hair. And I went along too with Linda Sutherland, who was our makeup artist, and she did your hair. Now, Linda is also a model. She does quite a lot of modeling herself. And you and she got chatting, and it was her that really helped you to understand what you needed to do next, because this was your first gig and you got it out of literally somebody in the bank saying, phone this number. But it was just fantastic. And I mean, what was also interesting for me was I took some amazing photographs of you myself with my own camera and put them onto our Facebook page. And I had quite a lot of comments about how older women shouldn't have long hair, which I found quite staggering. You know, I mean, look at your hair, it's absolutely stunning. And it's like, why can't people see past this to the fact that Nikki actually looks amazing with you know, her amazing hair. Anyway, tell me the next part of this story, because you then went from the White Hot Hair shoot. What did you do next?
Well, Linda advised me what to do. And I said to Linda, do you think I would have a chance? And she said, yes, I think you would. And on the back of what she said, because I didn't have any confidence, on the back of what she said, she gave me a phone number to this photographer, and I went to that photographer and had my photos taken. So that was the next step, which I still didn't think it was going to go anywhere. I didn't think anything was going to happen. So I carried on running my business at the same time. So, and then Milk Management contacted me and said, could they represent me? And I thought, yes, absolutely. You know, I didn't even really know what it meant. So that's how it started.
And Milk Management, do they specialize in models like you, or are they just a general model agency?
Well, it's a boutique agency. They have all different types of women. So they don't have this, they don't have a normal set of women. They have unusual women and beautiful, just a variety of beautiful girls and guys that look different. Yeah. I think that's how, and they took me 6 years ago when I met you and nurtured me, and it's been absolutely wonderful. They're a wonderful agency. I've been really lucky, very lucky.
Okay, I'm really glad to hear that, because you hear some terrible stories about girls in the modelling industry. But do you think that because you were older when you did it, that it was easier for you in some ways, because you were already, you know, you were an experienced human being. You weren't you weren't an ingenue or anything. Was it easier to do?
As an older woman, yes, it was probably easier, but because I didn't know the industry, it was like being 18 all over again. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what certain things meant on the contract, but what was usage? What was usage? I didn't know the industry at all. So I was very naive, but as an older woman, I was quite taking it in my stride. So there is a difference between a 20-year-old starting and me, but you still, in any job, you still plod your way along, not knowing and learning, you know, but I was open to learning. So I've tried to learn every which way as to what I have to do to make it work. You know, I do try.
I'm sure you do. I mean, you wouldn't still be successfully modelling 6 years later if you weren't doing the right thing. So tell me, after you were taken on by this model agency, can you remember immediately after that what were some of the first jobs you did?
Well, the first job I did, and the biggest job I've ever done, is the gold bikini Sports Illustrated in America. And the first woman at the age of 53, the grand old age of 53, to wear a bikini in a magazine called Sports Illustrated. And that absolutely went, it was just everywhere. I went and on every single news channel talking about wearing a gold bikini in a woman of my age. I mean, it's incredible, really, how people thought it was like, it was just like, it was amazing that they thought a woman like me could wear a bikini. It was incredible.
So the magazine was called Sports Illustrated?
Yeah, Sports Illustrated. And they only take women of 20 years old, size 000. They don't have a grey-haired woman of 55 at the time wearing a size 16 with boobs, you know, a woman that's had children in a magazine like that, you know.
And so why did they choose you, given that that was their sort of track record? Why did they choose you?
Because I did a photo shoot for a swimwear company called Swimsuits for All, and they put me in, and they put the three of us into the magazine. There was a plus Ashley Graham, who's the famous plus size model. Then there was Philomena, who's a plus size model, and then me, the old model. You see, and they put the three of us into that magazine, and that was what was so wildly unusual, because you don't get women like that in this magazine. You only get a certain type. So we had broke this mold, and now that magazine takes women of all different ages and sizes, and it's never done that before. So it was a first.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And but they got a massive sort of media response to it, didn't they? So I mean, it paid them really well to do it.
Yeah, it was big. Yeah, big news.
So you went to the States. You did the shoot and everything in the States for that?
Yeah. I did it in the Caribbean, and then we did the PR, all the promotion in New York.
Okay, and I think you were actually on one of these chat shows or something.
Yeah. I think we did all the shows. We did all. Oh yes, we did all the morning shows, like we have Phil and Holly here. They did all those type of shows there. I can't remember all the names of them. And then I came back here, and then I did Phil and Holly. Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
You did this morning, so you got a lot of press for
here
as well.
It was incredible. My feet didn't touch the ground.
And how when was that in relationship to when you started? Was that quite soon after you started?
Probably my first job with Milk. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that must have been absolutely incredible. That's like hitting big time. Just
I couldn't believe it. When I came back to London, I went straight to the agency from the airport. And as I'm very shy, I'm new in the business. I don't know anything. I'm older. I'm not. As I walked into the agency, and they've got like 30, 40 bookers, they all stood up and started clapping. And I sort of went, what? And I thought, me? Are you kidding me? So it was like, it was all a bit of a whirlwind, really, you know.
Yeah.
It was quite funny. So yeah, considering I was new at the agency as well. You know.
Well, that's fantastic. I didn't realize. I knew that it had happened, but I didn't realize it was that close to you actually starting. So did that have a massive impact then on your the work that you could get, because you'd already established yourself very, very powerfully?
I don't know if I think it did. I do. I think it did. I think it got me lots of other work, you know. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I mean, it
marvelous.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I can remember sort of starting to see you. You became an ambassador for us, and we photographed you and all that kind of things. We thought you were wonderful and amazing, and then just kept seeing you popping up on all sorts of things. So outside of the Sports Illustrated cover that you got, what would you say are some of the other highlights of your last 6 years?
Well, I did a really nice shoot last week for Phase 8, and lovely clothes, lovely people, and the makeup artist said, what's the best shoot you've ever done? So I said, well, actually every single shoot I do is the one, because I'm so grateful to be there, happy to be there, always have lots of fun, because everyone's you like a little family, and you suddenly love the makeup artist, you love because you're together all day, and everyone's making funny jokes all day long, so you just love them. So every single job, I just love it. There isn't one I love more, but the special ones that were like the front cover of Harper's Bazaar that we made in somewhere in Italy, Milan, I think it was. So that was really special. And then in London, Grazia magazine, that was lovely, because Grazia magazine picked, I think, 5 women from the age of 36 to 65 and put them on the front cover. And that was amazing, because you don't always see that age group together on the front cover of a magazine like that, you know. So that was pretty nice for me to be chosen.
So do you ever get fed up with it, you know, and a bit like, no, not at all?
Never. Every job is exciting, and every job is different, and every job is like the first job. You're nervous, you feel like an imposter. They'll realize I'm nobody and they'll tell me to go home, and everything is every time is the same. I just love it. You get wonderful clothes to wear. You have a makeup artist that does wonderful things with your face. I mean, it's just, you think, wow, is that me? I mean, it's all fun. It's all it's just, I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm doing it. I just can't.
Well, it's lovely to hear that you're still so starry-eyed after 6 years.
I am.
Yeah. That you're still pinching yourself and saying, is this really
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
have you never been given anything to wear that you've really thought, I would not be seen dead in that?
Yes, I have had the odd outfit. I've thought, no, 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 please. But because I've got a very long body, if you put me in a jumpsuit, the crutch is up here, the buttons are up here. It doesn't. My body doesn't take that certain shapes. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes when I'm given an outfit, I think that's not going to work. But I never say anything. I always do as I'm told. I put it on. I do whatever. But I have had some shocking things. But mostly, I love the clothes. I love them. So, and it's unusual because I get to try lovely things I wouldn't do normally. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you have you are you've got an amazing figure. I think you've got a gorgeous figure. Because how tall are you?
I'm 5'10", so I'm a
Yeah.
16 on the top and a 40 on the bottom, because I've got big shoulders, big, and then I've got size 14 bottoms. Yeah.
Okay, and you've got very long legs, haven't you?
Yeah, long legs. Yeah.
And you're it's because you're sitting down and people can't see you, so they can't actually see you. But because in real life, you know, when I see you in real life, you're tall and you've got very slim legs. You're kind of the opposite of me, really, because I'm pear-shaped. So I'm small at the top. I haven't got broad shoulders, and then I get bigger as I go down, and actually worse, you know. And you have a fantastic body, and then lovely, shapely, long legs. So and of course you've got that fantastic hair. So although you say you're a 16 on the top and a 14 on the bottom, because it's stretched out over 5'10".
Yeah, I can carry it. It's fine.
I would say your figure is what I would call statuesque.
Yeah,
you know, extremely elegant, and I mean, you're just absolutely gorgeous. So you know, I could completely see why you've been successful. How has lockdown been for you? So what's happened to you in the last year or so?
Well, it's kind of a bit on your own. It did get a bit lonely. I was a bit lonely, to be fair, but I was very, very busy. I took up in last May, I took up a running 5K everyday challenge, which was 100K in the month.
Wow.
I did it. When it killed me, but I did it. So, and then I decided after 25 years to empty my garage and to clean it, which I've not done in 25 years, and half rebuild a wall that had fallen down. So I busied myself in the garage, shifting heavy furniture, digging holes, and just doing man work. So that took 5 weeks to do. So in between the running and the garage, I was very, very exhausted. Yeah. But I did really start missing my friends and family and thinking, how long is this going to go on for? But I did busy myself, but you still need to be with people. It's so valuable. You know, I did miss that. Yeah.
And is the modelling starting up again? How is that going?
Yeah. I did it. Yeah, I did phase 8 last week. I've done some home shoots from home, which has been fun, because you have to be the photographer, the stylist, the hair. You have to be everything yourself. And I start with plugging things in, and if my hair's down, I can't see without my glasses, and then I just think, oh. So I find it all very difficult, but I do everything slowly. And what would take a normal person an hour takes me probably 4 hours. But I think, well, this is how it is. So I've been doing some stuff at home, which is, you know, interesting.
Good. So, tell me about the. This is something that we've been having a conversation about a lot during this month. Really, this month we focused quite a lot on fashion. So we've had a fashion editor, and we've had somebody who writes on the subject of fashion, fashion and age, and so on and so forth. And it's a recurring theme, really, which is about how the fashion industry tends to exclude older people. And I feel it's a conversation that they're not having with me anymore, and I resent it terribly because I love. I love clothes and I like to look nice, but I don't often feel that I'm particularly welcomed by people within the fashion industry. Now you're there being a model. So how do you feel things are changing towards older women in relationship to the fashion industry? Do you think it's becoming more inclusive?
Yes, it is. It's changing, but it's still very slow. It's slow. You're starting to see us being represented in advertisements on the TV, but it's just so, sometimes I think it's so painfully slow. I mean, I saw a woman last week advertising something, and it was for wrinkles, and she was 20 years old. And I thought, I should be doing that, because why would anybody want to buy that from you? So you still see it, and it's just I think it's going to take some time before we eventually get it into their heads that we've got money to spend. We like nice things. I don't want to wear I want to wear nice clothes. I don't want to sit in the corner and I'm just 61. I mean, I could be 31. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just think it's so slow, painfully slow.
Yeah. But I mean, the fact that you've got work and the fact that you are being engaged for these jobs
Yeah.
shows that they are waking up to it, and so on. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting any work, which is good.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you did that shoot for Phase 8, because I mean, Phase 8. I think very definitely it has appeals to an older women. So were you shooting their summer stuff? What were you shooting?
It was their summer clothes. Yeah, and it was mother and daughter. That type of shoot. The girl I was with, who's like 30, we were mother and daughter.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah,
interesting. And
yeah.
would you say that there were clothes there that you liked and would wear?
Yes, I would. They were lovely clothes, and I would wear them. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think we will need to go out and have another look at Phase 8, see what they've got.
Nice,
When
nice,
shops open.
crispy white shirt that everybody needs one. Things that we all have. You know what I'm saying? That if you wanted to get a new one, they did have some nice things. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good to hear. And you were saying to me earlier on this morning when we were talking, when you turn up at a shoot these days, there tends to be, a certain group of models, if you like. So tell us a little bit about that, what you found there.
Well, it's sort of becoming the norm that you have an old grey one, me, then you've got a young blonde girl, then you've got a black girl who's plus size possibly, then you've got another plus size that's got red hair, and you've got this mixture of people, and I'm the old one. That's, you see, and I just think, they're covering every aspect
Yeah.
of, do you know what I'm saying? So that is becoming quite common, you know.
So you think it's a box ticking exercise that they're going through in terms to get the diversity side of it. Right?
Yeah, to get their audience, they're going to produce a woman and a girl of every age, size, shape, and color for the general public to think, oh, that's me, that's me, that's me. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
And has that changed, do you think, in the time that you've been doing it? Is it more noticeable?
Yes. Yeah, it's more noticeable now. It's kind of more common now. Didn't feel that at the beginning, but I do think now that if you're going to have if it's like Sainsbury's or Asda, they're going to pick a diverse group of people and always put a grey in there. Thank you. And then a variety of girls that women that are going to wear these jeans, from a 20-year-old up to me and beyond. Because they're the people that go into the stores to buy, all of us.
Yes. I mean, I think I think it's some degree of progress that perhaps they have to go through this. It's an evolutionary thing. They have to go through this process of doing the box ticking diversity thing, like we've ticked all those boxes, and then hopefully they'll understand that we as older women can be represented doing normal things, you know, the things that everybody else does.
Yes.
I was saying to you this morning, I saw a Peroni advert on television last night. I loved it, and it was like everybody's coming out of lockdown and they're all in Italy, so it was incredibly glamorous. But it was groups of people meeting up for the first time, and it was full of joy. It was a lovely advert, but what I loved about it was that it was an older couple as part of life, as part of society, elegant. They were very elegant older people because they were Italian, and they wanted to show this scene, if you like. But I feel that that's when we'll know that we've broken through this barrier around aging, when older people are included normally. You know, it's normalized having an older person in the group. So it's not about incontinence pads, Voltarol and stair lifts. About going out and having a beer and being sociable with other people. Like we're part of life. We're not part of some medical process. We're just part of life. And I think that you'll be part of that, Nicola, because you are so gorgeous. And I can see you being part of that Italian crowd, you know, wandering around. And there's an older woman there. How lovely. And what about your own looks and your own sort of clothes and things like that? Do you enjoy dressing up and
Oh, I love it. I love it. I've got so many clothes, but then I save my clothes because, like I say to the kids, I've had some of these things 20, 30 years. So please don't judge me for having 30 coats, but some of them are that old. Do you know what I'm saying? So people get quite shocked when they see my wardrobe, because it's a room of clothes, but they're not all there. Some of them are very, very old. I save things. I like to wear a suit. I've got a suit actually I had when I was 28, and I squeezed into it, and I mean squeezed into it, for a charity thing. And I don't want to throw these things away. I don't know about anybody else, but good clothing, you don't need to throw them away. So I tend to keep everything, and I've got a lot of things because I like to keep them near me, and I like to look at them. I'm not going anywhere, but I like to look at them and think, if I did go somewhere, I have something to wear.
That sounds fantastic. We're just about to launch a new competition on Super Troopers. I'm going to give everybody a heads up now, and we're going to call it Something Old, Something New. So it's the oldest thing you have in your wardrobe that you can still get into. So you do have to be able to put it on, because we want to see photographs of you wearing it. But we've had one or two on Super Troopers, and it's been, I've had this for 50 years. You know, I bought this when I was 20 something. So, and then we want to see the latest thing you've bought, something that you've perhaps bought to come out of lockdown, and have a look at the two. And so it's something, we're going to do Something Old, Something New as a new competition, which could be fun. So what do you think is the oldest thing in your wardrobe? What would you put on that you can wear?
I've got a dinner suit which I bought when I was 28, and it's designer, it's special, it's gorgeous, and I can get the jacket on, but the trousers I can't do the zip, but I can wear it with the jacket over the top. Okay. I can do that. I can wear it at a squeeze. It's a squeeze.
And tell me what you're wearing at the moment, because you've got a purple top on. So tell us what is that?
It's purple top with this squishy material. It's from Zara, because I like Zara. And then I've been running this morning. I've got my Sweaty Betty running trousers on. Because I can't, since lockdown, I like to have an elasticated waist thing, because I don't want to wear anything that restricts my eating or my movement. So all these Sweaty Betty type leggings are what I live and die in. Yeah.
Well, I like you have worn two. I alternate them, two pairs of Sweaty Betty leggings. I've got one at the moment, and there is a big danger in that though, Nicola, because about 4 weeks ago I thought I better put a pair of trousers on just to make sure that they actually do up, and I put a pair of summer trousers on and I couldn't get them done up.
It's done the same.
OMG. So since then, probably 3 weeks ago, I've actually been very carefully following a particular regime, which hopefully is working well, but very healthy, lots and lots of fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. So it's good to hear that the same thing happens to other people as well. But that happens on you. Funny.
Yeah, but I put my jeans on the other day and I couldn't get the zip up, and I've been exercising and doing all the, and I thought, well, what's happened there then? I mean, I only have one pudding a day. Do you know what I'm saying? Just one. I mean, I eat really well, but I do like pudding. And
Yeah.
I thought, well, all that exercise, running every day has not worked because I can't get my jeans up. Doesn't matter. I'm not bothered because it is my stomach. I have a stomach and I have a stomach. You know, I don't worry about it. It's fine. I just put those big tight knickers on that holds it all together. It's fine.
Good for you. Absolutely
Yeah.
good for you. All right, Nicola, that was absolutely brilliant. It's lovely to talk to you, and you're a total inspiration as far as I'm concerned. And I absolutely love your story. I think it's absolutely brilliant that you've capitalized on this potential that you had 6 years ago to change the course of your life in such a
It changed my whole life. Yeah.
Yes, change your whole life and giving yourself this opportunity, and I think it's brilliant. So I don't know whether we've had any questions. Bryony, do we have any questions?
Yes, we have had a couple of questions. So Nikki, the first question was from June. She wants to know, have you always had long hair?
Yes, always. But when I was 40, I chopped it off because that's what I thought I was supposed to do, because 40-year-old women are not allowed to have long hair because that's what men said. So I chopped it all off, looked like Winderline off Wallace and Gromit because it came out into a big triangle. And then I decided that I was so unhappy, I had to grow it. And if it meant nobody ever speaking to me or people hating me for the rest of my life, I was going to grow it, and that was that. So I had to go back to having long hair because I didn't feel myself. I didn't feel happy. So yeah, I've always had long hair, except for the one blip.
Catherine has asked, as a model, have you ever been pressured into considering cosmetic surgery?
No, I haven't. No one's pressure. Everyone, when I go on a shoot, people are extra kind to me because I'm old, and extra kind to me because I'm frail. You know, like I was on a shoot not long ago, and they asked me, "Could you sit on the floor?" And I went, yeah, I think so. You know, and then when I struggled to get up because I've got a new hip, they all sort of looked alarmed, like, whoa, she could die at any time. And that does happen to me. Young people do treat me like death is round the corner sometimes. So, but no one's pressured me into anything. And also, I don't think they would possibly do that. You know, I don't think there'd be any reason to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June has asked, she wants to know, your hair, is it coloured or is that completely your colour?
It's all mine, and what I do is I put my white hot shampoo on, and it gives it a little bit of a blue tinge. And so it can sometimes look a bit blue, but it's sort of bluey, lavendery, whitey grey with brown bits in it. So it's a bit of a mishmash. But no, I don't have any chemicals on it at all, and I haven't coloured it since I was 42. So it's quite a long time.
Yeah. And Dorothy has asked, have you ever been in a shoot where there's been an issue with airbrushing? Has that ever been an issue?
No, because you don't know what they're going to do with you. You just go and do what you're told, wear the clothes, do whatever, and then they produce the photographs, and they do, you know, they can airbrush. Sometimes I've got a big freckle on my chest, and sometimes if I look at a photo, that freckle's gone. And I think, oh, my freckle's gone. So they do tidy photos up and lighten and dark and do things, which is, I'm happy with whatever. Change me, whatever you want. I don't care.
Amazing. Okay, thank you so much. That was all the questions for today, Tricia.
Actually, I've got one last question for you. You've done underwear shoots, haven't you, Nicola?
Yeah, loads.
Did you say gross?
No, I said loads.
You said gross. Are you incredibly confident about your body, or do you feel sometimes self-conscious? I mean, I'd feel terribly self-conscious if I had to parade around in my underwear and be photographed.
I always feel self-conscious, always, and I always feel like, really, but I do feel better when I've got big pants on that go up to my tummy button, so they're big pants and everything's tucked in and tidy, and then I feel good. but sometimes I have to wear little pants, and then because I've got a big porridge type tummy, it's part of me. I don't mind my porridge tummy, it doesn't upset me, but I don't really want it being photographed. So I always feel uncomfortable about my tummy because I don't want it. And I've got loads of photos on. If you look online, there's loads of photos with big porridge tummy, and it doesn't look nice. So that makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah.
Okay, so you do get self-conscious when it comes to
yeah
that kind of thing. Yeah, but you still do it, which is
I do it. Yeah, I've got a friend who's 72. She's also a model, beautiful, and when we work together, she always says, when we do lingerie, she always talks about her body and calls it roadkill. And sometimes we're laughing so much we don't really care after a while, because it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I haven't got the body of a 20-year-old. I'm not pretending to. It is my body, and it works for me. Do you know what I'm saying? So I have to get into my mindset, the acceptance of it, because this is it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, completely. And I mean, and you're stunningly beautiful. So why would you have to apologize for it? Have you ever met Daphne Self?
No, I haven't. And she invited me for tea, or I got an invitation from her and her people to go for tea at the Ritz or somewhere. And I was on a shoot and I couldn't go.
Oh, no.
And I just thought, and in hindsight, I had to do the shoot because I'm under contract. I can't just not do it. But I did want to leave and I did want to go, but I didn't meet her. There was my chance, you know. So
people watching who don't know who Daphne Self is, she's this incredibly iconic older model. She's now into her late 80s. Is she?
Yeah, I think she's 89.
89. She's very slim, very slim. I've actually seen her. I passed her on King's Road one day, and she was wearing jeans and I think a white shirt and a leather jacket, and she's got long grey hair. You look very like her. You're like a 61-year-old version of Daphne Self. And I think she's just wonderful, absolutely gorgeous, terrific model, as are you, Nikki.
Thank you, Tricia. Thank you.
A delight. It was so nice to talk to you. And
thank you for inviting me. It's been so much fun.
Good. Well, I'm sure we've all enjoyed that very much indeed. So thanks to all of you for coming, all of you for being part of the audience. We had a great audience today. Thank you to the people in my group and those that Nikki met as well. And
they were lovely.
Yeah, and see you all soon. And thanks again for coming along. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.